Okay, so for question number 2, we can clear the data. One way to clear the data is you click Stat, you go to the number 4 option, Clear List. I don't know why it does this for the stat. Anyways, you click the second button, the blue button, and where you see the number 1 is, you click that. It says L1. Click Enter. It's going to clear the list. Go back to Stat, Edit, bada bing, bada boom. I got fresh paper. Okay. So 78.3, this is for number 2. Same thing, I'm taking a look at these numbers. The one that occurs the most is going to be 78.2. That's going to be our mode. The mode is not calculated for you. It's something you have to do on your own. So once we have all this data in, you're going to click Stat. You're going to click your right arrow, Calc, and the number 1. If it's on the phone, I don't know why you have to do it twice, but it is what it is. Okay, so same thing. Top number is our mean. This S of X is our sample standard deviation. The sigma X is our population standard deviation. And Q1 is the lower quartile. Q3 is a higher quartile, and the median as well. So you have all of that information in there. So now it wants us to draw a histogram. So always double check your calculator. If it's a calculator you've been using, the stat plot's probably on. So you're going to change it, make sure it's on. Click Enter. And then you want this graph looking one with the bars. Click Enter. I'm going to go back to my stat. I'm going to clear my list. For L1, enter. So now my list is clear. So now I go to stat, edit. I'm going to put in my number 3 data. So it's going to be 33140. Oh, messed up that one. Okay, once you have all this data in, you're going to click Zoom and then 9. You can just press the number 9. Okay, so my data doesn't necessarily fit in this window that well. If I go to trace, sorry, tracing, it's okay. So if I go to my window, I can adjust the settings. So the smallest number I see on here is about, 2,000. So I could actually just end it off on 0. The largest number on here is about 60,000, so I can change this. Remember, you do not necessarily need to change your window. In my experience, it's been a little bit better for the scale, so it makes it a little bit prettier. If you don't change it, not the end of the world. You can just kind of gauge for like cleaner numbers. So like if you see it's close to 0, just change it to 0. If you see the minimum is like 58,000, blah, 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 just change it up to 60 instead of, weird increments of like 10,000, 300, blah, blah, blah. Just change it to 10,000. If you don't want to change it, that's fine. Just know there's going to be a lot more data on your numbers. Okay. And then the X max, let's just have a max of 10, minimum of 0. And that's our up and down. So think about the bar on the left. That's our Y. Okay. So I do our graph. The trace is already on, but you click this button, from the right to the left, and you're going to go through the trace left to right. So you can see 0 to 10,000 is 5. So you're going to create your plot on the X, a 0, and then write a 10,000. And then you'll write the next number. So the next number is 20,000. That one has 6. So you can go through and make sure that it matches. This one's just requiring the histogram. It does not need to show the skewness. Okay, so let's check out number 4. So you're going to go to Stat. I'm going to clear the list. The blue button, so second, and then 1. The list is cleared. Go to Stat, Edit. And just remember to get to that clear list, you press that number 4 right there. I'm going to go ahead and edit the data. So this is number 4. It's asking about birth rates. So 4.49, 2.3. and 2. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing a video right now. It's okay. So 1.43, 2.07, and then the last one is 2. And then you're going to go to you're going to go to zoom, and then 9. And then the window that we had before does not fit. So, that kind of matches it better. Zoom 9. Okay, so same thing. You don't have to clear up this data. You could use a trace and go between them and just figure out what it has already. I like to clear it up just to have nice, pretty numbers. So something like this, the minimum is 1.43. Just round the minimum down. So I'm going to round it to 0. You want to round the max up, so I'm going to round it to 7. 1 scale is fine. I'm going to go back to graph. And you can kind of see that bar is kind of like cut off. So I'm going to go back to the window. I'm just going to make it bigger. So I'm going to make it an 8. So now I can go through with my trace. Now remember, there's no necessarily right or wrong for this. It's going to depend on what you want. If you want to use what's given to you in the graph, that's fine. If you want to edit it to make it more even numbers, that's fine as well. Okay, so you would just go through with your trace, use the arrows, go between the different bars, and determine the value. So that is number 4. And the next thing it's asking is comparing the mean and the median. So you're going to click your stat button, S-T-A-T. You're going to go to the right, which is calc, and you select number 1. So to the right, number 1, click enter. And then it's asking for the mean, so that's 2.68, and the median is 2.55 or 54. So the 6.8 is more. So when the mean is bigger than the median, then you know it's skewed positively, okay? So you could kind of tell from the graph, I'll go back to the graph, that it's skewed positively. So most would kind of be between 2 and 3, but you can see there's a trail pulling towards the 3, 4, and 5. So it's trying to get pulled to the 3, 4, and 5 instead of being kind of split between 2 and 3. So that's positively going in the positive direction, okay? And then for number 5, to draw a box and whisker plot, you need to get the data. So let's take a look at stat. I'm going to clear out the list. So stat, number 4, and then the blue button second, and then you're going to click the number 1. If you look above number 1, it says L1. Click it. Cleared the list. So go back to my stat. I'm going to enter the data. Oh, why is it doing a plus? Hold on. 77. Oh, darn it. Okay. 78.6, 78.4, 80.3. Enter. Oh, I see. No, I'm pressing the plus instead of the enter. My thumb is too big, apparently. 78.4, 80.3. Okay. So I put in all the data. Now I'm going to go to... This is asking for a box and whisker plot. So I'm going to need the X min, X max, and I'm also going to need X min, X max, the Q1, Q3, and the median. So I go to stat, calc, and you press number 1. So it's stat, S-T-A-T, go to the right, there's a right arrow, and then just click enter for number 1. And then I'm going to click enter again. And then this is the data you need. So the X min, you can see right here, 77. Q1 is 79.1. Median is 79.8. Q3 is 80.9. And max X is 82.2. So I'm going to show you on the actual paper how to draw the box and whisker plot.